How's it going, everybody? Tuning in today to watch the Drive for Suicide Prevention's race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Coming off a pretty spectacular race at Dover Motor Speedway last week, we saw an amazing ending to stage number 1. Today we are going to be racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and this is going to be one of those races. It's going to kind of be like Dover last week, where it's going to start off crazy, and then once we get into a green flag run, it's obviously going to be died down a little bit.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I'm going to turn my chatter off. Forgot to turn that off before I started the stream. And now it's done. Alright. So the winner of last week's race is the fastest, and Matt Grunberg is trying to go for 3 in a row. And so far that looks to be quite like it's going to be something that's going to be done because of his lap time. His lap time that he sets is a 30.392, and he is 0.08 faster than Russell Kitts, who is second on the board. What I'm hoping to do is I upped a lot of my stuff, so maybe it will have a better live streaming quality than the Dover race. Got 113 laps with 75% fuel in these trucks, so they will have to make some green flag pit stops if we do have a caution-less race. We have a stage caution at lap 57, so if we don't go without a caution before the stage, they're going to have to pit. And if they do not have a caution after the stage, they're going to pit as well. So there's a chance that we can have 2 sets of green flag pit stops if we don't have any sort of cautions coming out at all, which could lead to some pretty good strategies happening. We still have 9 minutes in the session. As you do see on the screen, I updated the graphics a little bit, and by update I just changed the color of the ticker to blue. The leader, where it's black, is supposed to be blue as well, but for some reason it just didn't want to work for today. So it's OCD for a lot of people, but I restarted my thing a lot. I tried to get it fixed, but I guess my overlay just decided not to work, which is fine. I think it looks good. I don't think it looks that bad. I mean, I like the color blue, but we'll just have to see what happens. My voice may be a little down today than last week's. That's because I just got done commentating a really good Daytona night race for the Nork series on MaxBTV. So my throat is pretty well damaged after screaming a lot due to the amazing race. So sorry if I sound like I have a sore throat. I've been kind of getting one, so oh well. Got Curtis Sawyer in second now. He is 0.04 slower than Matt Grunberg. Curtis Sawyer was one of the dominant drivers at Dover, and now he's looking like it's going to be the same thing. We have Johnny Thomas in 3rd place, Russell Kitts in 4th place, Todd Guest in 5th place, and that rounds out the top 5. I unfortunately could not get the points. I just now forgot all about it, the points situation. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see if I can quickly pull it up here. some way, somehow. I'm gonna go find my Discord and see if I can find it. Alright. It's gonna take me a minute, so I'm sorry about that. There's a lot of drivers today that are running pretty horribly that were running just fine in last week's race, so that's something to look out for. This track is definitely a lot different than Dover, which is where Laura's going this Saturday as well, so that's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and let's look at the weather for today. Air temperature is at 74 degrees. Track temperature is 79 degrees. Got a northeast wind of 7 miles per hour. So it's definitely going to be quite the loose day today. It is somewhat cloudy, so that is something to look out for as well. Alright, let's look at the track info here. It's a 1.5 mile track here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's definitely going to be one of the more kind of chaotic races that we're going to have, other than a super speedway, of course. Fastest lap is Grunberg with that 30.392. We're gonna have a lot of fun here tonight once we get these this all said and done. So for 4 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and let the sounds of the race cars fill up your ears while I get points and stuff situated. I will return in a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, got the points, and here they are. Matt Grunberg has the points lead over Dylan Gooden. Jordan McEvoy is third. Kevin Graderish is fourth. Matt Bean is in fifth. The biggest loser from Dover was Johnny Thomas, losing 12 spots, and the biggest gainer was Curtis Sawyer, who gained 9 spots. And And there's definitely going to be a lot of points changes after the end of today. However, I want to make a quick prediction. I don't think that top spot's going to be switching anytime soon. Matt Grunberg has been shown to be very, very, very dominant this season, and it looks like it's going to continue that way when we head into next week. I'm trying to reach out while also checking to see if my quality is better. Okay, yeah. From last week at Dover, that quality is 100 times better. So, hopefully if Rudy's watching, you can take this into consideration. Because there may be a chance I may work for Max Speed, which is probably going to be the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I've been wanting to do, you know, commentary on a big stage. I know when my channel's out, where my channel's out right now is kind of a big stage. It's not as big as where Max Speed TV is, and it would be quite the opportunity of a lifetime for me to get somewhere with them. So we have 40 seconds left of practice. What I have noticed about this sticker is, of course, the winner thing is the colors of it that changed. I don't know. It's gonna be. It's like I said. I tried to restart my my thing. It just wouldn't work. Unfortunately, my overlay is. I'm trying to work on my own overlay and not use. You know, you get what I'm trying to say. But obviously, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So, 5 seconds left. Matt Grunberg will have the fastest lap with Curtis Sawyer in second. They're the top 5 fastest drivers right there. And practice will conclude. We're going to go ahead and we're going to potentially see what happens here in qualifying. And restart my thing here. Alright, here we go. Qualifying is green. Let's see if we can look at some drivers out on the track right now. May be able to, I'm not entirely sure. Trying to see if we can get somebody out on the track to if this will work. Alright, here we go. Got a couple drivers out on the track right now. A couple that have already set their times. Or they're actually starting to set their times. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot. Matt Grunberg said that he would not qualify for this race because he said in his interview last week that he is, if he wins the race, he's going to start in the back. That's what he did last week. So that's what he's going to do this week. Maybe 2 weeks in a row, we may see Matt Grunberg go from worst to first. So far, Austin Verwey is the pole sitter right now. He had an extremely good qualifying run, but just got taken down in an early accident. So that unfortunately costed him mostly a pretty good truck, like a top 5 truck. Kyle Frey now has the pole. The top 5 right here. These drivers are setting some amazing lap times. I think they're really close to each other too. Yeah, they are pretty close to each other. 0.02 of a second. Drivers are still setting better lap times than each other. Johnny Thomas with the pole so far, 0.06 of a second. Golly, that is a fast lap. That was, whew. Crazy Blazer. Dylan Gooden, he did relatively well at Dover last week. Let's see what he can do this week. He's so far in the 4th place position. It's still at 2 minutes left for some of these drivers here. We have 20, let me see here. 24 drivers entered, so we're going to see at least 20 cars on track today, which is about what we had last week at Dover. Artie Peterson Jr. in 3rd place in that one truck. Cade Norton in 5th. However, 1st and 2nd and 4th stay the same as earlier. Johnny Thomas on the pole, Kyle Frey in 2nd, and Dylan Gooden in 4th. Like I said, we're probably gonna see some green flag pit stops if we don't get a caution anytime soon. So if that's going to be the case, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of drama going on throughout the day. So far, Johnny Thomas is the pole sitter. Doesn't look like anybody's going to really change that. Curtis Sawyer now has that 4th place spot. So he now takes the 4th place spot away. He qualified really good at Dover last week. And I believe he got 2nd, if I remember. 2nd, if not 3rd. So he definitely had a pretty good finish last week. For now, it looks like our pole sitter for tonight's race will be the number 69 of Johnny Thomas. A nice qualifying lap. And that'll put him on the pole for today's race. Qualifying is set. Let's go ahead and let's see the grid for today's race. So, for the Drive for Suicide Prevention's race at Las Vegas, on the pole for today's race, the number 69 of Johnny Thomas. In 2nd place on the outside pole position, Kyle Frey. I still don't think I'm pronouncing that right. 3rd place is Artie Peterson Jr. And in 4th place is Curtis Sawyer. 5th place is Dylan Gooden. He had a pretty good race last week at Dover. Looking to get another top 10 finish today. Next to him in 6th place is Cade Norton. 7th place is Russell Ketz. And in 8th place is Austin Delgado. 9th place is Cody McCorkle. And in 10th place is Kyle Hansall. Todd Guess will be the first car outside the top 10 in 11th, with Matt Bean in 12th. Austin Fairway would start 13th, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, butchered her first name, that's for sure, will start 14th. Austin Derbyshire will start 15th. David Jarvis will start 16th. Jeff Gross will start 17th, and Michael Budd will start 18th. Brett Jones 19th. Matt Bratcher 20th. And these are the drivers that did not set a qualifying lap. Matt Grunberg, who's 2 in a row right now, looking for the 3rd in a row, starts 21st. Kevin Gladridge will start 22nd. 23rd, Jordan McEvoy, and 24th would be Jeffrey Fisher. And that rounds out your entire field, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to point out that this looks really cool as we start rolling off, ladies and gentlemen, for today's race. Johnny Thomas sporting Barstool Sports on that 69 machine. Definitely, I really love Barstool Sports. And that, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting set to go racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 24 trucks entering in this race, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be pretty hectic. And these guys don't have any of those fast repairs. which means it could potentially hurt many of these drivers who are trying to get a good run today. Out of turns 3 and 4, the field bunches up. Double file action here today. It's what we're going to be seeing a lot. A pace car rolls out of 4. Down pit road it goes. The driver suicide prevention race at Las Vegas is underway. Green flags in the air. Johnny Thomas with an amazing start. Pulls out to a car length and a half. Side by side for the second spot. Oh, there goes Kyle Frey. Early accident. Oh, collects many others along with him. Oh, Austin Veraway also spins out. The 97's collected. The 24's involved. Oh, man. Not even a lap in, and second place is already turned and out. Let's get a replay. Let's see what caused this real quick. Looks like the 7 was just not clear. Let's see if we can get another look at it from a different angle, ladies and gentlemen. They were really close to attaching right there. Now let's see what happened in turns 3 and 4. Looks like the 7 just... I really don't know who's at fault right there. The 7 just gets turned, slides up the track. He's on the brakes, but nowhere for many drivers to go. The 18, he comes down right into Austin, and once again, Austin Veraway just does not have a good start whatsoever. Let's see if we could get the 9 truck avoids it. Let's see what it was like from Taylor's point of view. On the nope, wrong one. It's the nose I'm trying. Well. I want the onboard camera. I don't think there's really much of an onboard camera other than this. Gets a little bit of front end damage. Tries to stop. Oh! Nowhere for him to go. That's going to take a lot of time to repair. That is for sure. Kyle Frey, Kyle Hansall, Austin Veraway, Taylor, Butcher Benjamin, Matt Bratcher, Russell Kitts. Looks like Kevin may have also gotten involved in that. Yeah, you can see him right there. I don't know if I could really get a good camera angle from... Yeah, this may be a little better. Just tries to go high, and he avoids it. That's Curtis Sawyer that I was looking at. Get another look at it here. This is from Taylor Austin Veraway. He's just had no luck these past 2 weeks. He's been taken out by early incidents 2 times in a row. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that takes out 8 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that takes out 8 drivers early on in the event, ladies and gentlemen. Not 1 lap in, we go from 24 drivers entered in the race to less than 18. Yikes. And Jeff Gross is the last driver out on track that's on the lead lap, damaged. Cade Norton, I think. Where did Cade start at? Let's look at the starting lineup again. He started 6th, and that's just... it's just been an awful day for many drivers, but we are 1 to green. So let's see if we can go more than a lap without a wreck. So far, the top 5, Johnny Thomas, Artie Peterson Jr., Curtis Sawyer, Austin Delgado, and Cody McGorkle. They're the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of tire marks in 3 and 4, that is for sure. One driver that did miss it, Mark Grunberg. He still has a chance. Pace car is off. Green flag back in the air here at Las Vegas. Another car length and a half lead, looks like. Heading into turn number 1 for the 69 truck. There's a battle for second going on. One of Peterson is starting to fade back a little bit. Loses a ton of spots after that restart. He falls back to the 6th spot. He's getting close to being side by side for the 2nd spot, but just barely. Oh my god, really close. Nose to tail. Look at how close that is. Jesus. Todd Guess and Austin, they're really close to touching bumpers. Intense racing back here. Carter McGorkle. Somewhere now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, that happened. Cordy McGorkle is having technical difficulties. Can't tell if he's fine now. I think there he is. Alright. He was up in the 5th spot, and then, like, guess something happened to his internet and just started blinking, but he's back now. Just lost 5th place to Matt Bean. This 3-way battle for the lead continues here. Not for the lead, for second, excuse me. Curtis Sawyer hanging on to the 2nd spot, has a little gap over Austin in the 42. However, 4.5 tenths ahead of Curtis Sawyer is our leader, Johnny Thomas. Look now, but here comes Matt Grunberg in the 54. Started in the back of the field here. He's loading it up right now, about to head into the top 10. He avoided the first wreck, which is really good. That really, avoiding that first wreck set him up for this. He gained a lot of positions after that first wreck, and now he's back into the top 10. Johnny Thomas hanging on for the lead. And trying to hang on to 2nd is Curtis Sawyer, but Austin just has a good amount of runs coming near. He's hanging on next to Curtis. So he's trying to get underneath him to no avail, though. Curtis is hanging on to that 2nd place, however. And they're slowly catching Johnny. May make it a 3-car battle for the lead, side by side for the 2nd spot. Oh, just couldn't get that run. Couldn't get the run that he needed. Austin could not get that run that he needed to get underneath Curtis. Whoa. Well, Curtis Sawyer is hanging on for the 2nd spot. They got a 3.5 tenths of a 2nd lead. And they're using that apron on the front stretch as a way to help gain some momentum, and that does seem to help a little bit. I don't want to say it's the #1 way to go when it comes to using that as a way to catch people. But it does help when you need to gain some sort of ground on people, while at the same time keeping a lot of speed. So you'll see a lot of drivers use that apron to their advantage, especially when it comes to like fuel saving under caution. They'll use the apron to use it and clutch it in and all that sort of stuff. Only 14 drivers left on the lead lap. Kevin Goddard is the first driver 1 lap down, Brent Jones being the last driver on the lead lap. Johnny Thomas may have his lead work cut short here. Here comes Chris in the 9. He's bringing along with him a couple buddies with him. Austin in the 42, Todd Guess in the 4 and 4th, and Matt Beat in 5th. They have a battle for the lead here. Not quite. Close to becoming side by side for the lead. The 9 Trucker Curtis sneaks a peek to the inside, just can't get underneath him. The outside lane does not really work for passing unless it is, unless you force him down to the apron and do something, make him force a mistake. It's mainly the inside lane that'll have the advantage. If these two keep battling at this rate, that 42 will definitely be involved in the run for the lead here. Like I said, if it continuously stay green, we're probably going to have a pit stop here shortly soon. The 9 looks really close underneath him. Nearly puts the bumper in the back of him. Looks to the inside in turn number 1. Oh, they're about door slamming. Side by side for the lead, exiting number 1. Here comes the 42 truck of Austin Delgado. He's looking to spoil the party, as well as the 2 other drivers behind him. Wait, is that even a lead lap car? No, that is not. That is Jordan McEvoy. He is 6 laps down. Todd Gus is right behind him, but all the way back here is Matt Bean. Austin looks underneath for the 2nd spot, potentially the lead as well if he can get the good enough run. Can't really get to Johnny's inside. And he's still underneath Curtis. Curtis still has the advantage for the 2nd spot. But it's getting a really tough battle for the lead here. Austin looks side by side with both the leader and now 3rd place of Curtis Sawyer. Does Austin have the run to the inside to get the lead here? He looks and he looks and he looks. He's to his inside but just can't reach him. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead in turns 3 and 4. 3 wide for the lead. And none of them can get past Johnny. Johnny's just... he's having a field day right now. He's working his tail off. Well, we got to go on board with somebody here. Let's go on board with 3rd place. Looks to the inside, clips the apron. He's going to push up the track a little bit. Can't get to him. Use that apron to his advantage, though. Now with that, here comes Todd Gus in the 4 car, or truck, excuse me. Try to get up in this and make it a 4 car battle for the lead. Curtis Sawyer made it side by side for the lead, but just still couldn't get the run. Now Austin's to his outside. Now the outside line may actually work here. It just all depends on how your truck feels. If it's a good truck on the inside, it'll work on the inside. However, if it works better on the outside, then obviously use it to the outside. Austin Delgado takes the 2nd spot away. And he looks underneath for the 1st spot. However, he's not going to really get anywhere. Real tight battle for the lead here. As a 4-car battle for the lead. Side by side for 2 rows. Side by side for 1st and side by side for 3rd. And I don't think the inside lane is going to win in either of these battles. This is some great action, I will say that. Austin has the nose out for the lead, but I don't think he'll be able to clear him at the exit of 1. Oh, he's hanging on. He is hanging on so far. Still side by side for the lead. This is a great 4-car battle for the lead, no doubt. And Austin clears him, but look at the crossover that Johnny just did. Oh, but Austin will lead that lap, which will give him some bonus points. Better than not leading that lap, that's for sure. Todd Gus really got a little wiggly underneath Curtis right there in the 9. Keep in mind that that 21 truck is 6 laps down, so he's just up here for the entertainment value at this point. Now Austin Delgado hangs on for the lead. I'm really good buddies with Austin Delgado, and he's a real good driver. So I was not expecting him to be in the back of the pack at all. And if you're talking about that, look who's 5th. Driver who's won the last 2 races in a row, looking for the third win in a row. Matt Grunberg, the current points leader, starting in the back of the field. He's worked his way up to 5th, and he's going to join this 4-car battle for the lead here momentarily, that is for sure. Austin hangs on to the lead, and Curtis Sawyer hangs on to the 2nd spot. Johnny Thomas is down pit road, so we are seeing some green flag pit stops. I said before the race that these drivers are probably going to have to make some green flag pit stops before the stage caution. But lo and behold, I was right. Two of the front runners actually went down. Yeah, 2 of the front runners went down that was up here earlier. Todd Gus and the driver who led the most laps so far today. And it looks like some other drivers will as well. Curtis Sawyer went down pit road, leaving 2nd place to Matt Grunberg. All the other drivers have to go down pit road now as well, it looks like. And Austin is slowing up a little bit. Didn't know if he was going to try and let the 21 by or not, or if he's signaling that he's going down this time. It looked like he was slowing up a little bit. Yep, he's coming down pit road. Watch that speed. Don't speed, man. Don't speed. Oh, the pit road speed here is, it bites you. It's like Darlington. But that gives the lead to Matt Grunberg for the 3rd race in a row. Maybe the 4th. He'll lead a lap. Austin Delgado has the fastest lap of the race so far with that 30.448 with only 2 lead changes of the day. Matt Grunberg is staying out another lap, so definitely some, it's Las Vegas. You're going to be seeing some split strategies here. Top 4 have not pitted. Yeah, the top 4 have not pitted. Grunberg hasn't pitted. Goodwin hasn't pitted. Derbyshire hasn't pitted. Or McCorkle. McCorkle now goes down pit road. Now the top 2 haven't pitted. But, according to my timing screen, the top 2 are going to probably stay out a couple more laps than the other drivers because they pitted when the first caution came out at lap number 1. So if a caution comes out, there's going to be a lot of drivers be put a lap down. Everybody that has gone down pit road now will have fresh tires than the drivers that haven't. The 2 that haven't, Matt Grunberg and Dylan Gooden. Now those 2 went down pit road when the first caution came out, so they're going to stay out as long as they can, which could possibly mean the stage caution. But I think trying to go to the stage caution is a little too much to stretch. Still have 27 to go for that. 27 laps until the stage caution. I do not expect these guys to stay out. Well, Gooden went down pit road, it looks like. And Matt Grunberg is going to go down pit road right now. So until then, I have no idea who the leader would be. I think Todd Gus will be the new leader, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Todd Gus will be the new leader. I think Austin had a pretty terrible stop, and now he fell back several spots. So now Todd Gus will be the new leader, it looks like, once Matt comes out of pit road. And you'll have Curtis Sawyer right behind him and Johnny Thomas right on, not next to their tails, but maybe a car length and a half separates them. So Todd Gus will be the new leader as Matt Grunberg is now coming off pit road. Now Matt Grunberg will actually have some fresh tires advantage, but not a whole lot as long as he doesn't you know, use up those tires, or if he doesn't get involved in an accident, you'll have some sort of an advantage. 13 cars left on the lead lap. Maybe 14. Yeah, it looks like either 13 or 14 drivers on the lead lap out of the 24 that started. After that lap 1 incident, we only have about 17 drivers on track right now. So it was a pretty devastating first lap wreck. I will say that. That is not something you want to have happen, especially on lap 1 in the last corner of the first lap. So Todd Gus is hanging on to the lead, and he is hanging on to the 0.8 of a second gap that he has between him and Curtis. Only one caution today with that 3 laps. So Austin Delgado went down pit road as the leader. He comes out in 6th position, although he's looking to get back in the top 5 with maybe a pass to David Jarvis. But I don't know what happened on that stop, but he lost a ton of time and spots. If he can get that sub sort of stage points, it'd be better than nothing, because he missed out on Dover last week. I think he's raced every race except for Dover. So he's trying to make up for that missed race last week. The gap between 1st and 2nd is still less than 7 seconds. Now more than 7.5 tenths of a second. The gap continues to increase for Mr. Gus here in the 4. Get a feel of the gaps here with this onboard camera on the rear cam here. The bottom lane just works fine when you're alone, but once you get, you know, up to the person ahead or behind you, the person behind you catches you, you gotta work that outside lane, because the outside lane seems to work better when it comes to passing. We've seen it before that drivers who try to pass on the inside have had a little bit of struggles, whereas drivers on the outside can hang on to positions, pass people on the outside, or the outside lane just has a better line for many drivers. Now this is an open setup series, so a lot of drivers' setups are based on where they like to run, on the high line, on the inside lane. Who knows? These drivers did have a half an hour of practice, but I think there are a few drivers that didn't have much practice time to really get a feel for their truck to see if it would run well on the high line or low line. So for many drivers, as of right now, they're trying to figure out what line works best for them, whether it be the high line, the low line, the apron, God forbid. This battle for the lead starts to get more and more intense here. Top 3 are starting to close in on each other. They're getting really close to each other here. It was only like, what, 7.5, 8 tenths of a second, like a couple laps ago. Now it's less than 3.5 tenths of a second. But we get spread out and have these long green flag runs. Finding lanes is definitely the best thing you could do right now. Now these guys can make it to the stage, but as soon as the stage ends, everybody's going to be going down pit road. And like last week, if the stage winner's in the Discord, I'm more likely going to be talking to them, bringing them up to the broadcast booth. We may have another battle for the lead here. Curtis Sawyer is just getting really close to Todd. Close the gap to less than a car length. Less than half a car length. Now it's just a matter of defense for Todd. if he wants to hang on. Todd has led 10 laps today. Curtis has led none. And Johnny has led 21. So Todd, if Todd leads all the way up to the stage caution, he will have the most laps led, but he's going to have to try and defend from Curtis. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty between these two. They were side by side at the exit, but as you can see, Curtis looks to the inside. It's going to be a side-by-side dead-even battle off the exit of 1 down the backstretch. But like I said, that outside line just works better when it comes to defending positions. Passing people also works on the outside line, but for the most part, defending positions on the outside is definitely better for many drivers. There's not a whole lot of areas to try and overtake these drivers. The corners is one thing. People try and overtake there, but if they try and overtake on the inside line, they're not going to have as much luck as they would trying to overpower them on the outside. We had a great stage 1 ending last week at Dover, and we have the seeds planted for another one this week, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it may come down to it, like Dover. We have that side-by-side photo finish for the stage win, and it looks like we'll have one of them be in this one as well. Todd Gus and Curtis Sawyer. Side-by-side. It's not nearly as side-by-side as it was a couple laps ago, but it's getting pretty close to it, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Gus, Curtis Sawyer, or Todd Guess, excuse me. Todd Guess, sorry about that. Curtis Sawyer, these two are really getting close to each other here. They got close to 10 laps to go for the stage caution. Now Curtis tries the outside lane. As you can see, he could really get a run on him. You can use the outside to get a good start, and then cut to the inside like what Curtis does, and he'll get the lead pretty quickly. However, can he hang on to clear him out of 1? Not really. Not now. Still side by side. That was a great attempt, and he's going to do it again this time. Like I said, outside lane will work trying to set you up for it if you can run it right, and then slingshot to the inside, and you'll be able to get a good run for the lead. However, that was a good attempt by Curtis, but he wasn't fast enough to get him. However, he can do it. He can do it this time if he can. It's gonna be really close to see what the stage ending, what the stage end is gonna look like. 10 laps to go before the end of the stage. If these guys aren't careful, third place to Johnny Thomas may come up and want to spoil this party. That's for sure. David Jarvis is in 4th and Beck Grunberg in 5th. Whatever happens at the end of this stage, we know that it's going to be a pretty hectic second stage, because for the drivers that already have a feel for their trucks, they're really looking forward to the final stage. When they cross the line to end lap 56, that's when the caution will come out. Last week, I was confused on that. I thought when they were coming to the stripe to get the white flag for the stage, they were coming to the checkered flag for the stage. This week, they made it more clear that the caution will come out on 57, and so on and so forth. That looks like the two leaders are coming down pit road, so it does look like, oh, wow, really loose. So it looks like the leaders are splashing off here, trying to make it to the end. Jarvis stays out, however, and he'll be the new leader. So with 7 laps to go in the stage, we'll have another green flag pit stop. So this is what you'll see after we get done with the stage. We're going to possibly see 2 green flag pit stops. Nobody this time goes down, not the top 2 at least. We'll keep an eye out on the drivers who end up staying out, however. Some drivers in the top 10 stayed out, or actually they went down this time. It looks like our leader of Jarvis is going down this time. However, Grunberg is not. Grunberg will stay out. However, watch out for that Ford truck. Since he does have fresh tires, you know that you'll be overcharging him because of the tires advantage here is really high. There he goes. And that is just because of the tires here. They are a huge difference here. Now they don't want to clog up that bottom lane for Grunberg in case he wants to run out pit road, and he can't because there's too many cars on the underside of him. So Matt Grunberg is trying to go for 3 in a row here. He won at Auto Club, and then he won at Dover. Now he's looking to win here at Las Vegas to secure himself as a top competitor for the season. And I guess my alerts were still on. I don't know why. I had that issue at Dover at the end of the race. I don't know why alerts are on in the first place, but you know, it's whatever. It happens. I could probably get that sorted out soon. Matt Grunberg stays out. He's staying out a little bit longer. There's 3 drivers that have not pitted. Okay, 2 drivers now that have not pitted. Derbyshire just went down pit road. He was the other driver that didn't go down pit road. And Gooden is the other one as well. He's sitting second. However, Grunberg and Gooden in the 75 still have not pitted. So their stint on this set of tires is set at 24, coming to 25 this time by. So these drivers could run 24, 25 laps easily. I don't know if these drivers are going to stick it out the whole way, because these drivers possibly can. Because Grunberg did stay out a couple more laps, so those couple more laps may get him the stage win. White flag for the stage. And Grunberg and Gooden are going to get the top 2. And there's only going to be, what, 4 drivers, 5 drivers that'll finish this on the lead lap. So they better hope to God that these top 2 pit. Because coming out of turns 3 and 4, Matt Grunberg on strategy will win stage 1 for the 2nd week in a row.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
I believe it is the 3rd week in a row. I'll have to ask him when we interview him, because I wasn't there for Auto Club. So I don't know if it's his 2nd stage win in a row or his 3rd stage win in a row. However, Matt Grunberg will win the stage. Let's see if we can dial him up real quick. Give me one moment and we'll get him in the broadcast booth here. I know he's expecting me. Matt Grunberg, this is Taylor Frey up in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, buddy?
Yep, 10-4.
Got another stage win. I think this is the 2nd week in a row. How does the truck feel? Does it feel good?
Yep, the truck feels great. The setup's pretty good. Almost missed my pit stall, but that's all right. Yeah, the truck feels pretty good on the long run. The fuel saving strategy paid off for me there. I was able to pit on the last lap of that first caution, and make it a one-stopper instead of a two-stopper like everybody else, and that really paid off. I'm glad we didn't get a caution there, otherwise that would have killed my strategy, but I'm glad it went green there.
So the thing with the first lap caution, did you pit after that first lap caution? Because on my screen it looked like that you did, but I could not look because my iRacing thing was, I was looking at replays and stuff. So were you were you down pit road after that
yes,
caution?
I actually came down the first lap and I missed my pit box because I just didn't see it. So I ended up coming down with 2 to go on that caution and ended up getting fuel and tires. So
Missing your pit box.
Really
Missing your pit box actually did help you out there. That's for sure.
Yep. I was planning on coming back down pit road again to top off anyway because I knew it was going to be close on fuel to make it to the end of the stage. So just a surprising strategy, surprising to actually have a fuel strategy pay off in one of these races for once.
Well, it is Las Vegas, so strategy will be a big thing. It was like it at Dover last week a little bit, and it's definitely going to be one of those races today where it's going to be strategy big. So, well, good luck to you on this final stage, and you were hoping to get 3 in a row, which would be pretty big for you this season. So, good luck to you on that.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and he will also come out as the leader, as everybody else is going to be taking the wave around thanks to the since they pitted, they're going to have the wave around, which could be, I want to say that would be kind of an advantage, but what the leaders did, there are some drivers that are on 7 laps on these tires. So some drivers are on like 5 or more when it comes to the tires and stuff like that, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with how bad this track is with tire wear and stuff like that, it can be quite a huge thing. So for the most part, the drivers that went down pit road last time by got the wave around, they are back on the lead lap. They'll be able to get up front and possibly lead some laps, but they're going to have to get by this 54 truck, who not only is one of the fastest trucks of this weekend because of the practice sessions and all that sort of stuff, but as well as he has he has less laps on his tires than the drivers when they have their extras. So Todd Guest will line up in second, right onto the outside. Just like a quick comparison for the drivers that, for the driver that got the lucky dog, which I believe was Guest at the time. I think he was the first driver 1 lap down. He was able to go down pit road and get the same amount of get the same tires as Rudberg, so he's fine. Third place of Austin has 1 lap on his tires. Johnny Thomas, who was behind him, has only 2 laps. So many drivers actually only have many drivers up at the front only have like a couple laps on their tires, whereas the rest of them don't. So who knows what'll happen here? Pace car is off. The final stage here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Got some crazy 3-wide action there coming to that line. And you can still see that 3-wide action behind there. But Grunberg is pulled away a little bit. And he said his long run was amazing. So we are expecting that same long run speed to carry over in this run, if we have a long green flag run. We said before that many of these drivers that are running up here are running the same laps as Grunberg, if not a little bit less. But as you can still see, they're still struggling to catch up to that 54 truck. That is just because of how fast Grunberg is. See, second place, Todd Guess having a hard time with Johnny Thomas behind him, all over his back tail. And that could be the same said with Austin and the 60 of Jeffrey Fisher, who is the first driver one lap down. Caution were to come out, Jeffrey Fisher would be the first driver to get that wave around of the lucky dog and be able to get back in the race, basically. Just remember, that first wreck took out a lot of drivers, and obviously that really wasn't such a good, you know, that took out a lot of good drivers. I mean, a lot of good drivers. Because we were talking about Austin Way having a good, you know, he didn't have such a good run at Dover at first because he wrecked, and then he salvaged the top 10. Well, he couldn't salvage anything today because of how bad that wreck was. Austin just dealing with lap traffic here with that 60 truck. As a driver, you hate losing time to the front runners because of lap traffic. Everybody hates it. I don't think there's one person in the world that likes to have their time to the front runners be increased because of the lap traffic that they have to deal with. It's not really that fun, I'll admit that. The top three are basically the same gap away from each other. A half a car length, if not a little more than half a car length. They're separated by 4/10 each. Well, we talked about Austin having the fastest lap earlier in the day. That is no longer the case with Grunberg anymore with that 30.434. As long as Matt Grunberg races in these races, you will have a challenge, no doubt about it. Not entirely sure where they're at next week. Alright, we'll look at that right now as we see the battle for the lead. The gap for the lead just continues to increase. Trying to see if... Okay, here we go. Eldora next week. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Eldora. They're going to Eldora next week. That, my friends, will be an amazing race to watch. Eldora, dirt racing. Oh boy, we're going to be seeing some fun action here. Let's go through the, well, since we have a little bit of time, let's go ahead and let's take a look at, well, let me read off the next few tracks that the driver suicide preventions will go to in these next few weeks. So for race number 5, which is the next race after this, so next week, well, actually, excuse me, it's not Eldora, it's Bristol, baby. I thought Las Vegas was highlighted in yellow, so that's my bad. It's actually Bristol. So not only will Nork go to a Bristol night track, but so will the driver for suicide preventions. They will go under the lights at Bristol. And then Eldora, and then the Charlotte for the All-Star race, and then the Charlotte race itself. Then Darlington, then Indianapolis, then Pocono, Kentucky, Michigan, Iowa, Atlanta, Canadian Tire, Kansas, Talladega, Martinsville, Texas, Phoenix, and Rockingham. So definitely amazing action in these next few weeks here, especially at Eldora. So we'll be looking forward to that. But the gap for the lead just is decreasing a little bit. It's not by much, but you can see it on this rear camera how much it's decreasing. It's somewhat decreasing. It's not too noticeable, but we were talking about 4/10 of a second. Now it's cut down to a little less than 4/10 of a second. A little less. Obviously not that big of a change, but still a change nonetheless. Now it's down to less than 3/10 of a second, 2.5. Nope, never mind. Looks like that entry was just not good for Todd as he lost 1/10.5. Only 8 drivers left on the lead the lap. Cody McGorkle will be the last driver on the lead lap. Jeffrey Fisher being the first driver, 1 lap down. If he was on the lead lap, he would be 4th right now. That's where he's at on the track. Like I said, that lap 1 incident took out a ton of drivers, so yeah. That's why there's not a lot of people left on the lead lap. Here we actually have a battle for the lead. Todd Guess, and Matt Grunberg, they're battling for the lead here. It's just like what happened with Cameron Sawyer and Todd Guess. They are going to be battling quite a bit. And they are probably going to be battling quite a lot. Now they're going to be coming down pit. Oh no, I think Todd just scraped the wall a tad. Let's see if we can maybe get a look on that. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Ouch. Todd overdrove the exit and just pounded that wall. Didn't pound it hard, but I think there may be some paint scraped off of that Ford truck, it looks like. Now, these drivers would last about 20 to 25 laps on fuel, so we're going to be seeing some pit stops. We're going to be seeing some pit stops happening in these next, I want to say, 2 to 3 minutes. We'll be seeing drivers shoot down the pit lane. That gap between first and second is now over 1.5 seconds thanks to that wall that Todd hit. So Matt Grunberg caught a lucky break right there. And he's going to be coming down pit road. So we'll be seeing what's happening here because he can't repeat that strategy because he went down pit road earlier in the race when that caution came out and he had enough fuel to one-stop the thing for a green flag pit stop. And now it's a whole different story now. So the leader went down pit road. Todd Guess is going to be coming down pit road this time by. Leaving Johnny Thomas, the pole sitter, back to the lead. Austin Delgado still out on track. He is in 2nd place. However, he's 3 seconds back. However, there's still a couple other drivers that have not pitted, but they are a lap down. If we're talking lead lap cars, there's only 3 lead lap cars that have not pitted in this, and that's Thomas, Delgado, and Gooden. Those 3 have not pitted. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if any of them do go down pit road. These drivers are mostly, the most laps you'll ever see these drivers run will be about 23 to 26 laps on these fuel and tires. So for the most part, these drivers will have to go into extreme saving mode when a caution comes out, if it does come out again. Which you never know. It may come out later in the race, because accidents do happen on pit lane that'll trigger a caution. And it usually happens here. It's either here or at Atlanta. I think for road courses, this series only goes to either 1 or 2 road courses, so not a lot of road course racing. Out of the 3 lead lap cars that we have still out on the track trying to push the car as far as they can, none of them go down this time by. So it's still Thomas, Delgado, and Gooden. In fact, we'll pull up the top 5 here. As you can see, Fisher and Bud are the first 2 drivers 1 lap down. And they have not pitted yet as well. In fact, these top 5 drivers listed here have not pitted. Everybody else after that, they've pitted. And it looks like somebody went down pit road. Who's in the top 5, I think? Not entirely sure. I don't think so. Nope. Looks like top 3 are still the same. I saw somebody drop down the list, and I was pretty confused for a second on what was going on. Grunberg's up to the 5th spot, so these 4 pit, then Grunberg will be back as the leader. But what Thomas, Delgado, and Gooden are doing is trying to do what Grunberg did first time around. They're trying to make it to where they can make it 23 laps on fuel and tires, which may work. Delgado went down pit road. These drivers are running, the leader is going to be running 27 laps before he goes down pit road, which will then give the lead up to Grunberg. When Grunberg crosses the line and gets his lap back and comes back around the track, he will take the lead away. Gooden will more than likely lead this lap, but he's down pit road. Actually, no, he's not. My mistake. He's still out on track. My bad. I thought he went down pit road as well, but no, I am wrong. However, it looks like he may go down pit road this time by. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to stretch it as far as they can. What Mark did, he may have set himself up to 2-stop this, and yeah, he may be having to 2-stop this, unlike the drivers that just went down that could potentially, if they have enough, go for a 1-stop to the end of the race. So they're trying to see if they can make it 23 laps on fuel, but they went down pit road, I want to say as late as they could. So I think with fuel they can make it 30 laps. And Grunberg has already put 8 laps on these tires. So unless Grunberg can make a huge lead, there's no way Grunberg can make it 3 in a row unless a caution comes out, or if he somehow miraculously saves enough fuel, because there's still, I want to say, 30 laps left? Less than 30. I think. Hold on, I'm trying to do math. 113 laps was definitely a weird number to put. Left 20 laps to go when they hit 93. Yeah, so these drivers can make it on 30 laps of fuel. So Grunberg will more than likely run out of fuel by by lap 109 to 110 if he does not go extreme fuel saving mode, if he's trying to one-stop this. I'm trying to calculate all this pit stop math and all that sort of stuff, because it looks like the 3 drivers that stayed out that I was talking about earlier, like, let's see, okay, so the 3 drivers that are showing up right now as the earliest on their stints of tires are Johnny Thomas, Austin Delgado, and Dylan Gooden. Those three are more than likely good to the go. However, for the top 3, they are questionable, as well as 5th place as Matt Beam. They are questionable if they are going to make it to the end on fuel. Because with how this is set up, it looks like you'll more than likely either have to 2-stop it near the end of the race, or hope that you can stretch it the rest of the way, which is what we're seeing right now. It looks like it, like I said, it's split strategy. We got the top 4 all on the same sets of tires between 12 and 13 laps on the tires, which is Matt Grunberg, Todd Gass, Curtis Sawyer, and Matt Beam. However, we only have 8 drivers on the lead lap, so there's 3 that are looking to stay out this whole rest of the way, one stopping this thing, which is Austin Delgado, Johnny Thomas, and Dylan Gooden. Austin Delgado is the first driver with these new sets of tires, and he's sitting in 4th place. Curtis Sawyer, Todd Gass, and Matt Grunberg all have 13 or 14 laps on their tires, coming to 20 to go. Unless a caution were to come out, this is going to be definition of Las Vegas strategy. Many people are gambling on these pit strategies, and they, and like me, want this to go green the rest of the way to see how this plays out. Because this is interesting to see what's going to happen to these the 4 drivers that stayed.
Right, man, caution is out.
Oh, and as soon as I say that, caution is out. Curtis Sawyer is around damaged. Let's go back and see what happened. It looks like they were side by side battling for the 2nd spot. And it looks like Curtis may have... Can't really tell what happened in that angle, but that was... Ooh, my God. Jesus Christ. Wow. Hard hit. Let's look at that at full speed. Oh yeah, Todd Guess, who got loose off the exit there. Oh my God. Well, that game of strategy out the window real quick, unfortunately. Let's get the gyro cam on Curtis here. Well, the strategy game went out the window as soon as they got into a thing. Just, whoa, oh my God. Luckily, he was the only one involved and nobody else got into that, because that was right in the middle of traffic. That just sucks for Curtis. He was running so well, and then just... Yeah, it just looks like Todd just got loose. That strategy game just instantly went out the window as soon as that caution came out, because the drivers that had long runs on their tires that I was talking about before, they're down pit road. And that'll... Yeah, everybody's down pit road. Everybody's following in the footsteps of the leaders. Everybody wants to be on the same sets of tires. It's very, very, very unfortunate that we had a caution come out as soon as we were going to have a good strategy game go on. However, now it looks like we'll have a 13-lap shootout between 7 to 8 drivers, because I think Fisher was the first driver. No, it looks like Michael Budd was the first driver 1 lap down. But just like that, we're done playing the strategy game, and now it's just written. Now it's just pure racing now. Man, oh man. Just when you think a strategy game at Las Vegas could have happened. Gotta see what many. It looks like some drivers actually got to take the wave around. But for the drivers that are going to be taking the wave around and stuff like that, they're having pretty worn sets of tires, so I would not count on it. Curtis just left the building. Which sucks, man. He was running in the top 3 all day and just gets collected in an accident. It's just not something you would like to see ever. You hate it. Well, for these drivers that are up ahead of the leader of Matt Grunberg, they're going to get the wave around. They're going to have a little bit of tires on them, so they can battle for position, but they're going to have to rely on another caution. And we are going to have a 13-lap shootout, ladies and gentlemen, so it's going to get wild. So far, it looks like there's 10 drivers on the lead to lap, it looks like. There's going to be... Yeah, there's going to be 10 drivers on the lead to lap once we get once we get these cars up to the back here. So, 2 drivers who are going to be taking the wave around now are going to be put back on the lead lap. 1 driver will be put back 1 lap down, which is the number 6 of Kevin Gladrosh, and David Jarvis will be back 2 laps down. There's 14 cars still out on track. Farthest back is Artie Peterson Jr., who is 3 laps down. And 1 lap to green, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, the strategy game is out the window. Now it's up to racing. 13 laps. It is not going to be a long green flag run of more than 30 laps or so. It's just going to be 13 quick laps. Actually, it looks like maybe some other drivers are looking to go around the track as well. I don't know if they're some driver. Well, we don't know. Some drivers are getting the wave around. Looks like. It looks like, yeah, some of the drivers that are 3 laps down are also trying to get some of their laps back as well. You saw Artie there getting another lap back as a wave around. So the pace car's off. A green flag. Called them a little too early, but, you know, it's fine. Grunberg takes a nice jump on the lead. And there's a stack up right behind him for the 2nd spot. Todd Guess holding on to that spot. However, look at that side-by-side battle for 3rd just right behind him. They're going to split him 3 wide. Oh, right to the outside lane at the last second. Almost taking 3 wide, but now they're side-by-side. The 2nd spot. Austin Delgado battling for the 2nd spot. Oh, pushed him up 3 wide. 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Austin's lucky he got out of that real quick. Jesus. Oh, but look out. Here comes the 75 and Gooden. This is a great battle for the 2nd spot. However, Matt Grunberg is starting to pull away a little bit. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Mark Grunberg. Just a random name out of my head. I keep saying it, my kid is going to be named Mark Grunberg. Matt Grunberg has pulled away to a half a second lead. We've seen gaps close up a little bit, but if these drivers continue to battle for these last 11 laps, it definitely won't be a chance for the lead. It'll be a battle for second, and that's it. This is just a great battle for second, however. I bet these drivers wish it was for first. I wish that they wish that Matt Grunberg was back there with them, battling with these guys. Side by side for a second spot, Dylan Gooden out of the lane underneath Austin Delgado. It's just hard racing here, and you can push them. You can push these guys. It's like Daytona. You can push them. I don't know if that will really work on the long end, but you know, you can do it if you want to. I mean, I've raced at Las Vegas for once, so wasn't really good, but yeah. 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. This battle for second just continues to heat up. They're just side by side everywhere, but that is allowing Matt to pull away, which could potentially give him that 3 in a row that he is looking to have to get himself in a really good spot for the chase. Oh, not for the chase, the standings. Nearly got into it. Oh my god. Oh my god, these guys are getting squirmy. Jesus! They could wreck now, but if they wreck with 5 laps to go, it's over. That's how the North race ended earlier today, and I don't think that's what I want to see, is another race end under caution. Nor is that what anybody else wants to see. This battle for second just heats up, but the gap between first and second increases with this battle. 8 laps to go. Yeah, like I said, these drivers continuously battling and slowing down more so they can make the corners it's not gonna help. Grunberg had a battle with Peterson there, so that lost him a tad bit of time. Not a lot, considering these drivers are battling here. This battle for second is just, holy crap, it's getting good. Oh my god. Johnny Thomas swerving a little bit underneath the 42 for the 3rd spot. Dylan Gooden hangs on to that 2nd spot. This lap traffic is going to be not a huge factor, but still a factor nonetheless. Now 2nd place is starting to pull back a little bit away from the guys behind them. I think it's too little too late to try and track down Matt Grunberg. Yeah, Matt Grunberg for the lead. With 6 laps to go. There's little to no chance of tracking him down, especially if a caution were to come out. It's all over. So it looks like it may be, unless something happens, a 3 in a row for Matt Grunberg. He won at Auto Club, and then after that stage went at Dover, dominated the rest of the race. Now it looks like he's going to do the same thing today. He won stage 1 with staying out and making it a one-stopper, and after that you pretty much knew that he was going to be one of those drivers that was going to be hard to catch and hard to beat, and well, that looks like it's going to be the case today. Grunberg, even it's four races in, pretty much know that these drivers behind need to step up their game a little bit in order to give Matt a challenge. At Bristol, anything could happen, but I'm pretty sure that half of the people that are watching already have their money set on Matt Grunberg getting 4 in a row. I'm not saying anything. They can do what they want. Anything could happen at Bristol, and anything could still happen here with 3 laps to go. However, that gap from first to second, it's not decreasing fast enough to make it a huge issue. It's not a huge issue for Grunberg. it's just looking like it's just gonna be one of those days for Matt, kind of like at Dover. 2 to go here at Las Vegas. He's led the most laps today, 57. He started 21st at the back of the field. He's gonna have to do it again. He's gonna have to do it again at Bristol, because he said in his interview at Dover that whenever he'll win a race, he will not qualify for the next race, so he'll start in the back. White flag in the air for the 54 truck of Matt Grunberg. 1 Auto Club, 1 Dover. Now it looks like he's going for the three-peat here today. With the guys battling for the second spot behind, it definitely gave Matt the chance to pull away and get what will now become his 3rd win in a row for the Driver Suicide Prevention Series. Matt Grunberg takes it home. A hat trick for Grunberg. Grunberg takes the win. Dylan Gooden will get 2nd, and Austin Delgado in 3rd, Matt Bean 4th, and Todd Guess in 5th. There was some intense action for 2nd place. However, with that gave Matt the chance to pull away because of how much those guys were slowing down and all that sort of stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll let Grunberg do his burnouts, and then we'll go ahead and talk to the winners and even other drivers if they are in the voice chat of Discord. I had a couple of drivers who missed out on an interview last week. This week, they could potentially have it now. Grunberg is celebrated here in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. The three-peat for Grunberg. Grunberg is getting used to doing these every Tuesday night. Daytona, he did not win, but that was just mainly because of Daytona. And then Auto Club pretty much was the first race that a lot of drivers could show that they could be really dominant. And then Dover and now Las Vegas. Bristol will be next week, so now will be our first short track action of the year. And then after that will be Eldora. So Eldora will be the first dirt race of the year, and that'll pretty much, I think that's pretty much it for dirt racing this season. And then we'll have like a couple of road course races, 1 or 2. Grunberg is burning it down. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and chat with Mr. Grunberg, shall we? Let me set this up here. So give me 1 moment. All right. Let's go ahead and talk to him, shall we? Matt Grunberg, welcome back to the broadcast booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yep, 10-4.
Three-peat, man. How does it feel?
Feels pretty good. We're getting all the wins that we couldn't get last year. I remember I had some mechanical troubles at this racetrack last year, and it's really good to have a bounce back race this year. Actually run good. Really proud of the guys out there today, keeping it clean, providing some good racing, and hopefully they put on a good show for the broadcast today.
Now, with the caution, the last caution coming out, what was your strategy? Because you were running on some pretty old tires, and we had a feeling that you probably wouldn't be able to make it unless you stretched it really far. did you think if we went green the rest of the way you were to win the race or something like that?
It was gonna be a toss up really. I know a couple other guys were on a few different fuel strategies. I think Johnny Thomas was gonna try to make it a one stopper there, and I think Dylan Gooden was gonna try to make it a one stop too. So it would have been interesting how to play it out there. I was gonna pit at lap 78 and 95 and make it a two stopper, just to be on the safe side. Um, I guess if I would have started in the back of that stage, I would have probably came in on the last lap of the caution and tried to stretch it. But with starting out front, I didn't really have that luxury this time.
Well, we're heading into Bristol next week for the first short track action. How confident do you feel there, knowing that you're probably going to be starting in the back like you did this week?
Oh yeah, it's gonna definitely be a lot tougher. It's gonna be tough to pass for sure there. And it's going to be a lot harder to avoid any wrecks that happen in front of me since the track's just so small and there's not many places to go. It really helped me out here today. It was like the lap one wreck. I don't know how I made it through it. I was like diving left and right to make it through all the stopped cars. But yeah, it's going to be tough next week. We ran good there last year, so hopefully we can go for 4, but we'll see.
All right, and who do you have to thank for this three-peat here at Las Vegas?
I just like to thank you for broadcasting and Will for putting on the league and all the competitors out there for keeping it clean out there today. That was really nice.
Yeah, I've noticed, this series has been having a little bit of drama with broadcasters, so I've definitely been happy to step foot on here and broadcast some pretty good races. Dover was an amazing race, and I can say the same for Las Vegas. It was definitely strategy filled and all that sort of stuff. So congratulations on your 3 in a row, and you pretty much planted the seed for a pretty dominant year so far. You'll definitely have a huge lead in the championship standings, no doubt. So we'll look forward to see what you got for us at Bristol next week. So.
Yep, I look forward to it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us up here.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right. And I believe that will be pretty much it for that. Yeah, there's not a lot of people in this voice chat today. We could probably talk to the Jordan, David Jarvez, Matt Bean. We could probably talk to these other guys here, but I'm not entirely sure here. Let's see if we can talk to Jordan real quick. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't think we could really talk to anybody because I wanted to talk to second place and third place, but unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to get them both into here. So I was looking forward to interviewing the top 3 and see what that restart was like for them. However, Matt Bean is in here, so let's see if let's talk to Matt Bean. He got 4th place. He'll give us a good insight here. Matt Bean, this is Taylor up in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
All right, that restart was that last restart was pretty chaotic. How was that last restart for your end?
Ah, man, it was fun. It was really tense. It was well, Matt kind of checked out there, so I knew I had a shot at top 5 there. So it was very tense. It was nose to tail, just gripping the steering wheel very hard there, and I'm very happy to come home with 4th.
How was the whole race for you today? Especially after that lap 1 incident for a lot of drivers, it really set the tone for not being too aggressive. So knowing that lap 1 incident took out a lot of good drivers, how was your race?
I think it went pretty smooth after that first lap caution. I felt like I had a really good short run truck. The longer the run went, my truck just got really tight. And it was fun coming, starting the first few laps of the run, just full throttle. But as the run went on, it got very tight. But overall, pretty pleased with the performance today.
And we got Bristol next week. How confident are you heading into that short track? That'll be our first short track action of the year.
Not very confident at all. I don't really like Bristol, but I'll be practicing a little bit.
That's all you can really do.
Yeah, there's. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more cautions there than there was tonight, just because it's more short track and it's a little bit more intense. But yeah, it'll be fun. But I'm not really looking forward to it. But we'll see what she got next week, and hopefully come home with another good finish.
We got a top 5 today, especially after what's going on today with strategy and all that sort of stuff. Anybody could have finished anywhere, and you got 4th place. It's top 5, and we'll see what you got for us at Bristol. Who do you have to thank for your 4th place today?
Yeah, my team, Drive for Suicide Prevention Motorsports, William Kruska is letting me on the team this year. David and Matt Gruenberg are also my teammates. Thanks to those guys for helping me out. And yeah, we'll see you next week at Bristol, and I appreciate you doing the broadcast. And yeah, looking forward to next week.
All right, and we'll see you next week at Bristol.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the top 5 for interviews. 2nd place, 3rd place, and 5th place are unfortunately not in the. They are unfortunately not in the Discord, so unfortunately I won't be able to interview them. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's get the. Let's go ahead and get the final results up here, shall we? Whoa, okay. All right, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and let me set this up for the final results here. All right. Really wish I could take off the live thing. I can only take off my logo, and that's about it. All right, let's go ahead and look at the results here. Matt Gruenberg wins the Las Vegas race for the Drive for Suicide Prevention's League. Dylan Gooden takes home 2nd place, especially after that crazy battle in that last restart. Him cutting the gap down from almost 2 seconds to a second and a half was definitely good, especially in the amount of time that was left. So, unfortunately, with the battles that happened for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place spot, nothing could really happen for the leaders. But that's really all you can ask for. 2nd place, Dylan Gooden. 3rd place, Austin Delgado. 4th place, Matt Bean. 5th place, Todd Guess. 6th place, Michael Budd. 7th place, Cody McCorkle. 8th place, Johnny Thomas. 9th place, Jeffrey Fisher. And 10th place, David Jarvez. 11th place, Austin Derbyshire. The first car 1 lap down. 12th place, Kevin Goddard. 13th place, Kyle Poker-Free. 14th place, Artie Peterson Jr. 25th, Jordan McEvoy. Brett Jones, 16th, Curtis Sawyer, who was running up at the front all day, gets involved in an accident with less than 20 to go. Well, actually, a little more than 20 to go, Finished 17th. 18th place is Kyle Hanshaw. Kay Norton, 19th. Jeff Gross, 20th. Austin Fairway, 21st. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 22nd. Matt Batcher, 23rd. And Russell Ketz in 24th. Well, the moral of the story for today is watch out in turn 4 on the first lap at Las Vegas, because that incident took out a lot of drivers early on in the race. But that'll conclude tonight's action live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, for the Drive for Suicide Prevention's race. Next week is at Bristol, the first short track action of the year. And then after that, we will head to the first dirt track of the year. There'll be plenty of short track action, but only one dirt race action. That'll be at Eldora. Both of those races will be broadcasted next week. I am very, very happy to look forward to this. Congratulations to Matt Grunberg for making it 3 in a row for him. The only race he hasn't won is at the restrictor plate at Daytona. But other than that, we will see you guys next Tuesday night for the Drive for Suicide Prevention League here at Bristol Motor Speedway. If you guys haven't checked out Max Speed TV's race on Nork from Daytona, I highly recommend that because that was an amazing race that I happened to have the great opportunity by Rudy to commentate alongside N2SC4R. That race was amazing, and I was so excited to commentate it alongside of Joseph and Rudy, and I can't thank both of them enough for giving me the opportunity to commentate. I'll say this before I leave. This past month has obviously been very life-changing. I've always wanted to get into broadcasting for iRacing, but could never really have the opportunity to. And I didn't know if my channel would be right for it because of it was supposed to just be like me doing gaming and stuff like that, and now it's turned into kind of an iRacing broadcasting channel, basically, alongside of like other games and stuff. I know I'm not the greatest. Like I said, I'm legit starting out. But I do have to thank Rudy for giving me the chance to broadcast, or not really broadcast, but commentate on a big scale, like on Max Speed TV. I can't thank him enough for the opportunity that he gave me earlier today, and I'm so happy I was able to get the opportunity to do that. I've known Rudy for a little bit of time from Laura, and watching some of the other Max Speed TV races, and definitely a great guy. Definitely a good guy. So, I don't know what to say. It's been a real good month. And I just got to thank every one of you guys that that tuned in today, that tuned in to the Nork race if you did, that tuned in to the suicide prevention race last week, that tuned into the ASS car race at New Hampshire in the Indy cars. Basically, I can't thank you guys enough for the support that's been given to me these past few weeks. All in all, it's been a great month, and I'm hoping everything continues to go up from here, because it's definitely been great. So here's your final look at your top 10 today in Las Vegas. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to tune out tonight. I can't thank you guys enough. Like I said, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and I will see you all next Tuesday night for the Drive to Suicide Preventions race at Bristol. First short track action next week. Will Matt Grunberg go for a 4-peat for the Drive for Suicide Prevention? We'll see next week at Bristol. I'll see you all then. Good night, everybody.